guys, welcome back today for another video. I got my 2009 Subaru Impreza behind me. This is Project Scooby. If you guys haven't seen my last video, head over and check it out. I'll put the link in the description below. But this is my new daily driver. If you guys don't know, my last daily driver threw piston, rod, whatever, boom, see you later. It's running on 5 cylinders, so had to get something else. The Jeep kills me every week in gas. $55 every 3 days to fill it up. It has to take premium because it's tuned and all this, you know how it is. So this is my new daily, and today we're going to be running an amp wire, which is right there, and I'll show you guys how to do that, how to do it safely, because if you haven't seen my fire video, you should head over and check that one out also. I ran the amp wire in the Jeep a very long time ago when I was really young. I didn't really know much, and it finally rubbed through 7 years later, caught fire. So head over, check that video out, show me some support, yeah, so I'm going to show you how to run that amp wire, hook everything up. I don't have a head unit yet, so that'll be in a future video, but today we're just going to be running all the wires. I'll show you guys what sub I got in the back and everything. I got a really good deal on the sub, so don't hate, because it is a cheaper sub, but it's going to do the job, especially for a daily driver. Don't need anything crazy, but yeah, so we're gonna run the wires, and I have bulbs that I took out of my Impala because everything was LED in that, so I'm gonna see what bulbs will actually fit this. Guys, so the main thing that you want to do here is you want to find a grommet, preferably a factory grommet. The Jeep's a little bit tougher because there's not many factory grommets by the battery, so I had to make my own. But in this, since this is an automatic, this is where the clutch reservoir would be. So what I did was I cut a slit right in this grommet. This is going to protect it from, hitting the metal in that hole right back there, the yellow that you can see. And then I also just, cut a hole right in the carpet right there. So obviously we're not stick shift, so we don't have to worry about a clutch reservoir there. So this is going to be our hole for anytime we run aftermarket wires. So on this thing, we're going to probably have wires because I'm going to do fog lights in the bottom of the bumper down there and down there. We'll do factory fog lights, and then we'll probably just have our big amp wire, and that's going to be it. There's no reason for a lot of accessories on here. Maybe we could do something cool with like a light bar or something, but I don't know yet. I don't know how far I want to actually get into this thing, It is a daily driver, so I want to keep it somewhat factory, somewhat OEM. Besides like cosmetic stuff. So I'm gonna pop this grommet back in. I just wanted to show you guys how I'm gonna run it. It's gonna go from the positive on here or the positive on the fuse box. I haven't really decided what I want to do yet. It probably will be easier just to go to here because you don't have to worry about when you disconnect your battery having this wire and all that stuff. So we'll see how that plans out, but I'm going to get this wire ran. I'll show you guys how I ran it in the car, and then I'll show you guys in the back, hooking in all the wires up, the ground, the remote, the RCA cables, and all that. I'll show you how to run all of that also. So give me 1 second to get this wire fed in, and then we'll move to the inside of the car. All right, guys, so just really quick, you don't want your terminals to look like this. I'm just going to go through and clean that up. I got some battery protectant and battery terminal cleaner and a wire brush. I'm just going to get that nice and clean. It's preventative maintenance to do that. We are through the grommet hole. I still have to put the rubber grommet in. I don't know how much slack I'm going to need on that cable. And also, I can't go to the fuse box because there's not a mount like how the Jeep has. Like the Jeep has 2 nuts where you can put wires to. This doesn't have that. So I am going to go straight to this terminal, but the good part is it does have this 1 nut up top. So I'll just take that off, put the wire, and be done with it. And we can even run it out the factory positive cover here on the bottom there. So it should look pretty good. I just want a clean install. I don't want to have it look like garbage. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to just take our time, run it the right way. And then for you guys that don't know, for you guys that haven't installed any stereo equipment before, you want your positive wire on the driver's side, and you want your RCAs and remote wire on the opposite side. Now, the reason for that is so you don't get feedback. So when the car's running, the cooling fan or whatever, the blower motor, whatever, any electrical stuff you're using, or even your gas pedal, because this car has an electronic gas pedal, that will cause a whine in your audio. So you definitely don't want to do that. So you just want them on opposite sides. I guess you could run this on the passenger side if you had to, but I always do it driver's side, and then passenger side is the speaker inputs and all that stuff. So let me get this all ran, and then I'll show you guys what the finished product looks like, and then we'll move on to figuring out some lights and everything else. All right, guys, so as you can see, both of my terminals are now clean. Wires connected to the positive. I still got to put the grommet back and everything, and then we got to start running it in the inside. I just wanted to show you an easy and effective way to make sure your car is always going to start. You definitely don't want corrosion on those terminals, so definitely clean them up. And yeah, I mean, this is taking me a little bit longer than normal because I'm watching my little Buster over there. He's a good dog though. He's still really young, only 5 months, but I got to keep an eye on him too, because it's not fair for him to be inside the house. So we'll get it done though. All right, guys, so it's a different day. I didn't really finish filming everything that I did. Also, I just came from the dentist, so if my mouth looks a little bit funny, it's because my mouth is numb. So just bear with me, but I want to get this stuff done because this is actually my only day off this week. So I have behind me a radio, a headlight restoration kit, LED headlights, bunch of stuff, backup camera, everything for the new daily right here. Pretty much transformation. It's gonna have every option my Jeep has. It's actually the same radio that's in my Jeep. So yeah, but the head unit one is going to be part of the wiring video for the subwoofers, and I also need to show you guys how I ran everything and stuff because I forgot to do it whenever I was running it. So I'll just go over that really quick with you, and then we'll be doing the head unit install in part of this video and the backup camera and everything. And then in a separate video is going to be the LED headlights, headlight restoration, and all of that stuff. So let me show you guys the wiring that I did the last time, and then we'll move on to the head unit. And then, like I said, the other video will have the headlight restoration. So yeah. Okay, guys, so I know I showed you under the hood, like the wiring under the hood. That comes all the way back on these door sill panels right here. Comes down through, and it comes through to the back here. I ran it under the back seat, and then I have it right here in the trunk. I mounted everything nicely. So we have our amplifier, our capacitor right here, and then we have our subwoofer, obviously. So everything's mounted. None of this is gonna go flying around while I'm driving. It's all mounted securely. The only thing that I didn't mount was the sub, but the way I have it done in the Jeep is I have like a bungee cord around it, so we're probably gonna do something like that. We got to see how much this moves because it is a little bit top heavy, so we'll definitely have to check that out. But yeah, that's how I ran all my wiring and everything. And I even cut the carpet a little bit here just to tuck everything nicely, and I didn't want wires everywhere. So but yeah, so we will start putting the radio in, and we'll get all that done. We'll get it all hooked up, and we'll see how everything sounds. Still on the fence of if I want to do interior speakers or not. Like I said, it's a daily. I don't want to go too crazy with it, but we might wind up doing interior speakers and an amplifier for them, but that'll be in a future video if it doesn't sound the way that I want after everything's hooked up here. All right, guys, so we are inside the Impreza, and we are going to be installing the Eon 10.1. It's pretty much a tablet radio. You can download apps and everything on it. If you have the same car, this is going to be very, very simple to remove this factory radio, and then the rest is just going to be wiring and running wires and everything. So I like to take like a small pick because you don't want to do any damage to your dashboard. And you just find an area that you can get behind. I had this out once before, but it's going to be a little bit hard doing it with one hand, but you just lightly pull out. Don't be alarmed, like it's gonna sound kind of like it's breaking, but it's not. Just, you don't want to break any of your clips because then your dashboard's gonna look like garbage and it's not going to look great whatsoever. And this radio particularly is very, very easy. It's 4 Phillips head screws. Let me get those out and then I'll show you guys the plugs in the back. So here is the back of your radio. You're gonna have this plug, which pops right out, press, pop right out. This one, I zip tied some stuff to it just because I ran my amp wires before, but it's the same concept as the other one. You're gonna press and pull off. That's gonna be that, and then you have your radio antenna, which just pulls out also. And then you could say goodbye to factory radio, because you'll no longer need that. And I'm gonna have to cut this zip tie, which I can't do with one hand, but you guys get the idea. Also too, I think these vents were supposed to stay with that, but we'll snap those back on. It's not a big deal. And I'll show you guys the harness and everything, because I'm going to wire that outside of the car. But what you're going to want to do before you start doing anything is grab your harness, which I have the Metro harness. Hi, Buster. Hey. What's up, bub? Huh? So this is the Metro harness right here. And you just want to make sure that it is indeed the right harness, because there is two for this car. There's an option for factory navigation, but it looks like we're going to have the right harness here. And do we have the right harness? It looks right. It's a little hard to plug in one-handed. Maybe I'm the wrong way. Might be the wrong way. All right, let me make sure this plugs in, and then I'll let you guys know what's going on. So the harness does in fact work. I had it the wrong way, of course. So you're gonna want this tab away from the tab on here, which doesn't make any sense because normally they plug in the same way, but this one plugs in the opposite way. So it does plug in. Let me get this all wired up, and I'll show you guys it wired to the radio harness, and then we'll start running our wires. We're gonna be installing a microphone, a backup camera, a Wi-Fi antenna, a GPS antenna. We're gonna also be, because I forgot when I installed my subs, I have a bass control knob that I'm gonna mount right down here, right in this cubby area. So I have a lot of wiring to do. I'm not gonna film everything, but I am gonna run you guys through it as I run stuff. So just bear with me, and let me get this thing all wired up and working. So everything's in for the most part. The radio's in. As you can see, Apple CarPlay cable's down there. My bass control knob's there. That's the OBD2 scanner. That's also down there. I didn't wire the backup camera or the remote bass knob just yet. I'm about to start running wires for that. The harness is pretty self-explanatory. It's color matching, so you just match all the colors. The only wire that's different color is the illumination wire. That one's going to be pink to orange, but the rest are the same exact color. The sub works, everything works. These interior speakers are absolutely horrible. They're definitely gonna have to be upgraded and amped, because you can't, like, you can adjust from the radio, but you can't make it nice and clear like how my Jeep is. So I'm gonna be amping those eventually. And I broke the Wi-Fi antenna because I stuck it up there and I needed to move it. So when I went to go pull it off, it broke. So I gotta see if I can get another one of those. And I also need a Y splitter for my subwoofer, because this only has a single RCA output. But other than that, everything works how it's supposed to work. Everything's in. It looks great in here. It does look a little big, but that's okay. And yeah, so I'm gonna get the rest of this wired in, and I guess I'll close this video out. Alright guys, so that's going to conclude today's video of the radio and everything being installed, my subwoofer and everything. Pretty happy with it. Not 100%. I wish I did the interior speakers at the same time, because I'm going to have to take it all back apart and run more wires, but it's okay. I don't have money to get that stuff right now anyways, so that'll be coming. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.